everyone, welcome to Ask Nutritionist Deepa special episode on heart health and our Valentine's Day special with my special friend Sueson Vess, who happens to be my Valentine as well, because Sueson is my mentor, my friend, my supporter, my guide. What can I do? There's so many things I can say about Sueson. She was the one who taught me how to stand in front of a crowd and talk and cook at the same time. We did a lot of cooking shows, cooking classes, cooking shows together, and it's my privilege to invite Sueson on this special episode on heart health, chocolate, self-care, Valentine's Day, and everything. So Sueson, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh my God. Thank you. I am honored to be with you. And of course, you know that everything that you say about me, I send back to you.
No, Sueson and I, Sueson used to live here in Illinois, and she moved to North Carolina, which is great because I occasionally get to go there and we have a lot of fun cooking. So Sueson, we are big believers in self-care and taking care of ourselves and cooking clean and all that good stuff. And as I was saying, that today's episode, this entire month we are going to focus on heart health, because February is a heart health month, and then we have this Valentine's Day that sneaks in. So what a perfect time to talk about nothing but chocolate and cocoa and all its benefits. So Sueson, give us your 2 cents about chocolate or cacao.
Excellent. So chocolate, when we talk about chocolate, we're not talking about Hershey's Kisses, right? We're talking about raw cacao. And I'll show you. So we're talking about cacao powder, because once the chocolate is roasted and all the sugar added, it isn't healthy for you anymore. And so we want to use the unsweetened cacao powder. And that's kind of scary. I remember when I first added it to a recipe, I thought, oh, it's going to taste bitter, it's going to taste bad, but actually it tastes absolutely delicious. So we want to use it because of its health benefits and because of its flavor. So it has magnesium, it has really good properties that we're going to share with you. And so Deepa taught me a lot about using spices. And so I knew about flavors and I knew about culinary spices, but I want to mention the benefits of things like turmeric and cinnamon and red pepper, any kind of pepper. Spicy is good. And so those flavors go so well with chocolate that we're going to include them in everything we do today.
Perfect. So we are, Sueson, tell us what you are going to make.
So I'm going to make a stuffed date. And so dates, and I'm using medjool dates, and dates are sugar, right? But they are a natural form of sugar. They also have some nutrients, they have minerals, they have fiber. So it's a little bit better for your body. And we're going to stuff that date with macadamia nuts. So macadamia nuts, again, it's a good source of protein and fat, a little bit of protein, but we're going to use salted macadamia nuts, so that when we take this date and we fill it with a macadamia nut, it tastes like you're eating, I don't know if you remember that candy called a turtle. It tastes sort of like caramel, and it's got the salty, sweet, crunchy. And then we're going to make it even better by dusting it with some cacao powder.
Okay.
And the cacao powder, I mixed that cacao powder with a little bit of turmeric and cayenne pepper. So I'm just going to show you when you So I like to buy my dates with the pits in them, and this is what it looks like. So we take that pit out, and obviously we're not going to use that. But when you buy dates that don't have a pit in them, they dry out a lot faster. So now I'm going to just take a couple of the macadamia nuts and put them in, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this cacao mixture. And I'm using a strainer just because it makes it easy. And then I'm just going to pinch this up, and that's it. That is all that it takes. And it's absolutely delicious. So that took me all of about 5 seconds to make. And your friends, your family, you will love this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that is our first treat that we're making.
That's right. So,
Any
and
questions?
no, this is just a perfect perfect snack, even, because who says that we have to eat chocolate only during Valentine's Day, and why should we have to focus on candy when it comes to cacao or cocoa powder or chocolate flavor, right? So
Exactly.
these are some of the ideas that people can try at home. I have even done your macadamia nut and this cacao cayenne powder dust, the magic dust I call it, even with a fig. So taking a fig and pressing the macadamia nut in it, and just because really what brings out that flavor is the cacao with cayenne, the sweetness, the spiciness, as you know I love. It's just perfect. So we'll move on to our
It's
next.
very interesting. And if you can't have macadamia nuts, you can use any nut or seed. You can chop them, you can use them whole, you can use nut butter, and you can mix other flavors in it. You could add cinnamon to it, you can add cardamom to it, but just that you want it to be a little bit salty, a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, and it's a perfect combination.
Absolutely. So, Susan, your next dessert is your kicked up brown batter dessert hummus. So, guys, please pay attention, extra special attention to this recipe. As interesting as it sounds, it tastes just phenomenal. Who would have thought that you can have brownie batter dessert hummus? So that's what Susan is going to make. And when she is done making her hummus, I'm going to make a decadent milkshake, we can call it, using cacao and molasses.
Okay, so I am going to do this in a food processor. And I have a tiny little food processor here. And I have added to that a can of chickpeas that I already, get that camera right. Okay, that I already added the chickpeas to it, and I rinsed them and drained them. I'm going to add to that 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to add tahini. So I want to talk about tahini. I love tahini, and this is actually my favorite one because it's in a bottle, so it's really easy for us to measure, and it's not going to be stiff. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. And then I'm going to add my cacao.
So guys,
a quarter of a cup of cacao.
One of the property of cacao I want to talk about is
so I'm going to add, there's different kinds of cinnamon, and the regular cinnamon that you buy in a grocery store, this is probably Vietnamese cinnamon, and it's fine, and it tastes like cinnamon bread that you had as a child. It's delicious. But I'm going to use Ceylon cinnamon, which is considered true cinnamon, and it doesn't have that really, really strong cinnamony flavor. It is a little more savory, but it's still delicious, and it has more health benefits. So I like I like this kind of cinnamon.
And everybody
So
hang in there, because
a teaspoon.
we are going to share the recipe towards the end. You will get a link. So uh, just focus on how Susan is making the recipe, because you will get the copy of the recipe towards the end.
Right. Okay. And so then I'm going to add cayenne powder, and you can add as much as or as little as you like. The recipe says 1/8 of a teaspoon. Personally, I like a little bit more. And then I'm going to add turmeric, because I add turmeric to everything because Deepa told me to. Okay. And so, you know, some of you know me. I am a 2-time cancer survivor. I had ovarian and breast cancer. And even my holistic oncologist had me taking turmeric in capsules. I don't do that anymore because I am 11 years past that ugly time in my life. And, but I put turmeric in everything. I put it in smoothies. I put it in coffee. I don't think there's a single dish that turmeric doesn't work for me. So it's so beneficial, but you need to have pepper with it. So I used cayenne in this recipe. And so what do I have? I've got my cacao, the cayenne, the turmeric, the cinnamon, the maple syrup, tahini, vanilla, a pinch of sea salt. Okay. And now I'm going to blend this up. Now, depending on and I'm going to make noise. So, depending, you might need to add a little bit of hot water to this, but I'm hoping that it's going to keep up.
Oh, look at that. It does look like brownie batter,
I
Susan.
know, isn't that amazing?
That's just amazing. And guys, we all know
I'm gonna give it I want it to be a little creamier than that, but I'm going to give it another whirl here. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I'm just going to take a little bit out so you can see this. And now if you were doing, you could make this in a blender. You can make it, if you made it in a Vitamix, obviously it would be totally, totally creamy. Or even if I used it in my bigger food processor, it would be creamier. So then you're going to just dip that in some fruit, which I'm going to try.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good. So I want to talk about what fruit you would use, and talking with food in my mouth. So I live in North Carolina, and you'll probably be sad to hear this, but next month we're going to have fresh strawberries.
Of course.
It was 65 degrees here yesterday.
I actually cry when you tell me about the peaches. Because you get peaches.
So Deepa's visited here during peach season, and it's unbelievable. But anyway, use whatever fruit is in season. If all you can get right now is oranges, chocolate and orange is phenomenal. So use oranges, use apples. Don't buy those berries that were shipped from thousands of miles away that are going to taste like nothing. You're better off just taking a spoonful of hummus and eating it. But
even pineapple, like taking frozen piece of
any fruit.
Any
fruit works, whether it's pineapple, strawberries, apples. I have some pears. We have some great pears right now that are just so ripe and juicy. Any fruit, but this is about the easiest dessert treat that you can make for yourself. And even though it's delicious, it's also beneficial. So my thing that I like to say is eat foods with benefits, foods that love you back. So you don't want to just eat empty calories and sugary drinks and cookies and things that are going to give you that instant rush. by making this chocolate hummus, you have beans. So you've got some protein, you've got fiber. And then we added those awesome spices and a little bit of sweetener from maple syrup. And when we talk maple syrup, we mean 100% pure maple syrup, none of this Aunt Jemima or whatever. Anyway, it's totally delicious, and you saw how easy.
That is right. And guys, now you know where I get my thinking about food is. It's from Sueson, who where we work together so much to really take these everyday ingredients and making them with so much and uplifting them with flavor to make them even more beneficial for our health. So eating food with benefits is such an important message for your heart, for your brain, for yourself, not only for yourself, but also for those whom you love, friends, family. Me and Sueson had cooked together and shared food with neighbors, whoever we met and thought would enjoy our food, we would give our food away. So, Sueson, these were amazing.
I just tell them the first time I met Deepa, we were both at a gluten-free expo, and it was raining so hard that water came through the lights, and we had to like postpone the actual show, right? And so I was the MC, and I was dancing. I was standing in front of these people. They didn't want to hear me. They wanted to see cooking. They wanted to be participating, but we had to wait. And so I was asking them lots of questions, you know, what was your favorite thing? And they said their favorite thing that they had done so far was the rock star in front of you, Deepa, who had not done anything sweet. She was talking about lentils and how to sprout them, and it was just amazing. And I said, I have to meet this woman. And so I love Indian food. And I said, oh, Deepa, you know, tell me where the best Indian restaurant was. And she said, no, you come to my house. And so from the first time I met her, we started cooking together and just sharing the benefits of real food and how it can nourish your body. It's not just that, it feeds your soul. It makes you happy.
Absolutely. So, no, thank you for sharing that. And shout out to our dear friend Jen, who was hosting the gluten-free, allergen-free show. That's how they used to call it. Now it's called Nourished Festival. So, great friendships. It's all about connections. It's all about networking. It's all about sharing what you know. And that's why we stand here today. So my last dessert is going to be, it's a milkshake, guys. And who doesn't like milkshake? Everybody wants to have milkshake. But last few years, I have been making this decadent milkshake using, of course, cacao, because one of the health benefit or one of the health properties of cacao is that polyphenols, which are extremely good for our heart, and it also and the flavonoids, the polyphenols and flavonoids are the special ingredients or special compounds, I should say, not ingredients, but compounds in cacao, which helps reduce the inflammation, but also improves the level of nitric oxide in your blood. So making it enhances the function of your blood vessels. But again, we take all these beautiful ingredients, and if you end up just turning it into highly processed dessert, then it's no fun. So that's why this my version of cacao, I mean of this decadent cacao molasses milkshake. So I'm going to take 1 cup of plant-based milk, and I'm going to quickly go and get my few cubes of ice cubes. I shouldn't say ice cubes. What are those called, Sueson? So Sueson gave me an idea the other day to freeze some of the plant milk into ice cube trays to add little more depth to it. So I'm quickly going to go and get.
I use silicone ice cube trays because I don't want I don't want to use an aluminum. I don't want to use a plastic one. And they sell those silicone ice cube trays everywhere. I mean, they have them at Walmart, they have them on Amazon, they have them in grocery stores. So I have so many of them. And if you, like, sometimes I will freeze, I'll freeze in those cubes coconut milk or any plant-based milk that I want to use then to thicken something. And if, especially with smoothies, you know, you want to have something frozen.
Yeah. So for some reason, the ice cubes are not coming out. But oh well, I should have used my silicone. Why didn't I think of it? I just thought this would be easier because I wanted smaller cubes. But anyway, it will come out. Maybe it needs to be defrosted. But the another powerful ingredient that I wanted to talk about is this molasses. So molasses is unfiltered, this thick liquid that we get when they make, when they turn sugar cane into sugar. But it is so rich in nutrients. 1 tablespoon of molasses has calcium and iron. And I have seen it, I have experienced it, and I know people swear by it. If somebody is dealing with iron deficiency anemia, they are going to benefit from taking or just adding a tablespoon or a couple teaspoons of molasses. You can add it in your oatmeal, or in this case, you can mix it with your plant milk, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to add like 2 teaspoons or so into this. And maybe I'll add a little more. Now the molasses is one of those things that the taste you will develop the taste for it. For some people in the beginning, it's little intense, but it grows on you because very soon you start enjoying that caramel malt type of flavor. I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of the raw cacao powder and dash of vanilla. You can skip vanilla if you want. Just a pinch of sea salt, just to balance the flavors. I'm going to try taking my milk cubes out, but they are not coming. It's not able to get the ice cubes out.
So while you're getting those out, I'm just going to show you, I have a variety of sizes of these silicone things. And the beauty of silicone, I even have these big ones. I love these. So the beauty is that you can squish that, right? So when you're popping that cube out, all you have to do is push this and it's going to pop right out. So perfect. Big sizes, little sizes. I even have tiny little sizes.
Perfect. So I'm going to add, I was able to manage to get a couple cubes out. Just going to put it in the NutriBullet. Need to add any extra sugar because molasses is sweet enough. It has that caramel taste, flavor, color to it. You don't need to add anything else for the sweetening. Okay, and that's it. Oops. So Susan, we made that date with, guys, as you can see.
I need to be in your kitchen. This is sad.
I know, really. I mean, we should be.
Look at that. It's so creamy.
It's creamy, it's thick. It's, can't wait to try, but it's just amazingly, and my goodness, the flavor. You know, it doesn't smell artificial. It doesn't smell too sweet. It just has that molasses caramel type aroma to it, you know. And hey, what a great way to start breakfast today, right? With a milkshake. Why not? It has polyphenols, it doesn't have any sugar, it has iron, it has calcium, it has plant protein. I use some soy milk. And what else? You could add cinnamon to it. You could add, you can add that cinnamon cayenne to it. But Susan, this is to us, this is to everybody's health. And thank you for joining. And Susan, do you want to show your hummus and your date again? And while she's doing that, I'm going to take a sip.
We're gonna have a date, and here is cheers to your good health, all of you.
Exactly. Guys, have happy Valentine's Day. Make one of these treats and surprise your Valentine, your family, your friend, your pet, whoever, and stay well and eat mindfully. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Hi, I'm Nutritionist Deepa. Over the years, I have seen my patients experience weight gain, hormonal imbalance, and physical and mental fatigue. I have created a vitamin D3 formula. Vitamin D3 is a hormone that helps with weight loss, regain hormonal balance, and improve the physical and mental clarity. For more information, click on the link below.